Paul, you ready? Okay, we're getting the meeting started. Good evening. This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of November 9th, 2017 was included in a meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times and Courier Post on January 10th, 2017, and advertisements in the newspaper from January 12th, 2017, respectively posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 10th, 2017, has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk.
You also, there's something you're reading from this. Paula, when was the notice sent to the papers of the amendment?
The original notice was on the 10th.
For this rescheduled
No,
meeting?
I'm sorry, it was published on the 10th.
It was published on the 10th. It was published on the 10th
Okay,
in both the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's stand for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sharon, roll call, please.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Here.
Mr. Dickinson?
Here.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Here.
Mayor Porto? And
Mr. Michelle, Deputy.
Mr. Michalke? Okay.
Okay, we need an approval of the minutes for the regular committee minutes of October 10th, 2017, and the executive session minutes for October 10th, 2017.
I'll make a motion for both sets of minutes.
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Okay, we have the reports, the tax collector report, October 2017, the code enforcement, October 2017, fire official report from October 2017, and the construction report from October 2017. Can I get a motion to file?
I'll make the motion to file and spread the tax.
And I'll second that.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Here.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Okay, first discussion tonight, the 2017 best practice questionnaire. Paul, do you want to go over this?
Sure. I briefly mentioned it in the last meeting, not realizing that we needed to make sure this is included in our minutes so we can send it out to BCA. But it's an annual questionnaire, 21 questions. We scored in our aid this year.
So there's actually no voting needed?
No voting needed, just needed to discuss it and ensure that it's in the minutes.
Okay.
Send it up to BCA, which has already been filed with BCA. We just need to send it in the minutes.
And this question,
For adoption?
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
yes. We're going to be ready to resolutions. Resolution 2017-146-11.
6-11?
Now second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Resolution 2017-147-11, authorizing contract for purchase of electricity.
I'll move for resolution 2017-147-11.
Now second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Resolution 2017-148-11, authorizing contract for computer services with Edmonds and Associates.
I'll move for resolution 2017-148-11.
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Resolution 2017-149-11, authorizing transfers of funds during the last 2 months of the current fiscal year and the first 3 months of the subsequent year.
Mayor, members of the committee, I believe you're going to have to table this to the next meeting. Requires two-thirds affirmative vote of the governing body.
Okay. You need a motion to table that?
I'll make the motion to table 2017-149-11 due to not having enough individuals.
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Resolution 2017-150-11, authorizing the execution of quitclaim deed for the real property designated as property 38-01, lots 3 and 4 in the official tax map of the township of Hainesport.
Offer of resolution 2017-150-11.
And I'll second that.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Resolution 2017-151-11, request for over $2,000 is for the Gramco Business Communications ceiling mount 3,000 lumens projector, hardware installation and configuration for the meeting room.
I'll move on resolution 2017-151-11.
Now second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Resolution 2017-152-11, also request for over $2,000 for GJ Construction LLC for the storm drain repairs at Paisley Place and Stonehaven and Merriam Way.
I'll offer of resolution 2017-152-11.
I'll second that.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Okay, move on to business. We need a approval of the business license.
I'll make a motion that we approve the business licenses.
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Correspondence. We have a letter from the Mountain Holly MUA, and it's a notice of a budget meeting. Paul, can you go over with that, or?
Sure, we just received notification from Executive Director Bayberry that they are going to be reviewing their budget at their November 9th public board meeting.
Okay.
Very like the matter.
Yes, well, we did receive this in October in preparation for our regular meeting. It's coming. Basically, there are no new anticipated projects in calendar year 2018 where actions by the authority will affect any municipalities or their respective master plans. So it's the annual notice that they're required to provide to us.
Okay. Need a motion to file?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr.
Dickinson.
Dickinson?
Yes.
I was going to forget.
I know. Okay, we're going to go comments from the public. Comments from the public, man. That's what we get today. As normal, comments will be limited to 5 minutes. Yes. And other than that, you go first.
Hello, Anna Evans, 63 Parry Drive. I'd like to bring up a couple of things that came up during the campaign, if I may. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Costa and Schneider. They appear to be here, but congratulations anyway. I want to address the matter of the mistake on the Democrats' mailer, which is an incredibly unfortunate thing. Again, if Ted Costa were here, I would address this with him personally also. It falls to me to do this because Pat Mackin isn't here, but it would be Pat Mackin normally because she's the chairperson of the Hainesport Democrats, and she took full responsibility for the mistake. Unfortunately, there was a bullet point that wasn't indented underneath Ted Costa's name, and some people misinterpreted that as meaning something that it did not. As soon as we caught the mistake, Pat Mackin called Ted Costa, and she also went on Facebook to Hainesport Hattons to address it with the public. Hopefully now that it's being addressed in public and it's being recorded, everyone can understand that the Democrats meant no harm to Ted Costa or his reputation. The final thing that I'd like to bring up is I have here a copy of the pay-to-play ordinance that's been adopted in other municipalities, very successfully, I might add. One of the things that we found in this campaign is, of course, we found out that Alemo Engineering had given my opponent $7,000 for their campaign. And that's what sparked these ideas that maybe pay-to-play is a bad idea and that kind of money needs to be taken out of the community. Not saying there's anything illegal about it, just saying that it doesn't look good for the community when a company like Alimo is probably, I'm assuming, going to be appointed as the township engineers again. Do we have anyone else in the running?
I don't think the actual work is due till middle of December.
Right.
December 4th.
Okay, well, so we'll have to wait till January to see whether they do indeed get appointed. Meanwhile, I'd like to ask if any of you would like to take this copy of the pay-to-play ordinance to consider putting forward for Hainesport in the future.
I'll use our term if in fact we decide to move forward on any kind of said ordinance. I'd rather refer to our solicitor to handle that for us, not some other panel.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Yes.
Good evening, council members, and Mr. Gillespie. I wanted to talk about the...
Can I have your name, please?
I'm sorry.
Address?
Deborah Plyer, 50 Bancroft Lane. I wanted to talk about the Hainesport Industrial Railroad. First, I know that none of you were on the committee back in 2006 when that issue came up and it was being litigated and the settlement agreement was reached. And Mr. Gillespie also wasn't the solicitor at the time. But it is an issue that came up recently during the last campaign, and I'm not saying that the Democrats were right or wrong, I'm not saying that Mr. Costa was right or wrong, but it was an issue that interested me as a lawyer, so I did some research. And what I discovered was that it started in March of 2006, and I know you're not lawyers, Mr. Gillespie, so you may not understand everything that I'm saying, but I'll try to explain it in a manner that's understandable to you.
Now, here's a question for you, though. You know what, and I know from your Facebook that you are a lawyer.
Right.
Because
Is she a lawyer?
She's a lawyer.
Yes.
But now, I understand this is going to be your point of view, correct?
No. This is, I have a question, but I want to give some background information so that you understand my final question. It's not an opinion. It started out as a verified complaint in the Chancery Division with Mr. Costa filing the lawsuit. The defendants, he sued Hainesport Industrial Railroad among a couple of other entities. They took it out of state court, put it in federal court, and immediately filed something called a motion for summary judgment, which basically they were looking to dismiss the lawsuit. And in fact, what happened as a result of that was a settlement agreement was reached. And in that settlement agreement, Hainesport Township was getting paid 50 cents per ton based on a statute that says that when you are a municipality accepting solid waste, and you have a solid waste transfer station, you are entitled to no less than 50 cents. So under any set of circumstances, Hainesport was going to get 50 cents per ton. What I found, there's a case called Town of Kearney versus Hackensack Meadowlands Development Commission, and it's a 2001 appellate division case. And in that case, it said that the DEP has exclusive jurisdiction to make decisions about things such as the propriety of the location of a solid waste transfer station, and the amount of money that is. So my question is, has any consideration, and my guess is you'll probably have to talk to council, has any consideration been given to going to the DEP and asking the DEP to say, is 50 cents a ton reasonable? And
we'll address that with our council.
Yeah, and Mr. Gillespie, in case you need it, the cite to the Town of Kearney case is 344 NJ Super 55 active 2001.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone
So
else?
I just have a quick question for you by chance. So what you're saying, just so I kind of get a gist because you're a lawyer, so what you're saying then is that when this was signed and delivered, when I guess Mr. Costa was the attorney back then, and the individuals that were here up on the committee that obviously aren't here now, that there might have been some irregularity there?
No, I'm not saying that. I've been an attorney now I'm getting ready to start my 19th year. Prior to that, I did insurance claims. So altogether, I've got 28 years in litigation experience. And there are lots of reasons why decisions are made. For instance, he filed in the Chancery Division. That was maybe, I didn't see it, but he probably filed in something called an order to show cause. My guess is that he wanted to expedite it through the system. I've done that myself as an attorney. I'll file something in special civil part because I want to get it in front of the judge right away, and then lo and behold, the other side comes up with some claim and they move it to the law division, and now I'm stuck for 2 years in litigation. I don't know, and I'm not going to second guess the reasons why something happened. Could be business reasons. I mean, litigation's expensive, and gosh, you could easily spend $50,000, $100,000 in litigating a case like this, if not more.
And as a lawyer, you know that.
And I know that for a fact. I've been involved in cases that are, right now I'm going to be doing an appeal on a case that's 10 years old. And it's going to be a huge expense to appeal it. Litigation is extremely expensive. So I don't know the reasons why the council members made the decisions they made. I don't know the reasons why Mr. Costa made the decisions he made. I'm not going to second guess anybody. All I'm saying is that under the statute, and it's NJSA 13:1E-28.1, and I found the 1990 version with the legislative history for the statute. And I know that means something to Mr. Glass, and it means nothing to you guys, but it means something to us as attorneys. But it says in there no less than 50 cents per ton. So under any set of circumstances, that's a given. You're never going to get nothing. What it says is that any municipality within which a transfer station is located pursuant to an adopted and approved district solid waste management plan shall, not may, shall be entitled to an annual economic benefit to be paid or adjusted not less than quarterly in an amount established by agreement with the owner or operator of the transfer station or by order of the Board of Public Utilities, but not less than the equivalent of 50 cents per ton of all solid waste accepted for transfer at the transfer station during the 1987 calendar year and each year thereafter. That means you're never going to get less than 50 cents per ton. You could get more, but you'll never get less than 50 cents.
So what you're saying as a lawyer then is that it might have been a bad deal that was cut by the individuals?
I don't know. It's hard to go back and say.
Well, two things.
The only thing I could say is that, you would have, if you'd taken it to the DEP, maybe you would have gotten more. I don't know.
Right. Well, here's the question too. I mean, we'll definitely have our lawyer take a look at it. And what is the average? What do you see the other transfer stations? Like, what is the average?
I didn't look. I honestly didn't look. I can tell you that the town of Kearney has,
For some reason, with that case you just said, I think that we actually had people go down to D.C. for that. I think our administrator at the time actually went down to D.C. Remember they had to go down there with the...
I wasn't involved back then, but I do recollect there being conversation as such.
So, yeah, we'll take a look and maybe see what the other transfer stations.
Yeah, town of Kearney goes back to 2001. I have no idea how much they got, but what happened in that case was that they actually filed a lawsuit, and the owner of the transfer station said, no, you're in the wrong forum. You need to be at the DEP, so the case got dismissed and went to the DEP.
And what happened with that? The money?
The DEP doesn't, there's no information in the particular case as to how much Kearney got paid, but what the case did say was that the DEP has exclusive jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Good evening.
Can we hold your phone for you?
Huh?
Want me to get your phone? Hold your phone for you? Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. At first, my name is Louis Loca. I live in 98 Level Drive, Manhattan Township. I want to thank all the candidates, including Anna, her partner, Ted, and Lee. I want to thank for Lee, running the seat. And I appreciate it, man. I went through that day, 3 different townships for the election day. I went to Burlington, it was nobody there. I went to Warrenburg, was nobody there. I finally came here, spend a wonderful evening. Second is, can you clarify the first two addenda, Resolution 2017-146 and 147?
Okay, so the cancellation of outstanding checks, we had one check. Paul, am I correct in saying this? We had one check that was not cash?
Correct, for $1,366.31.
Okay, and the second one was,
Purchase of electricity, what do you mean by that?
you would go around?
Sure, it's for acquiring a third-party electric energy provider. Third-party energy supplier.
purchase our electricity at a cheaper rate.
Yes, cheaper than our current provider.
You buy into a co-op per se, that allows us to achieve our electricity at a cheaper rate.
Have you tried to go solar?
I'm sorry?
Have you tried to go to solar?
We tried that yet.
You know what, we actually did look in a solar before, too. We don't even into this building, but it's, the electricity bill, what happens is this goes to a third-party supplier. And what they do is they negotiate a better rate. So you get a better rate through that. At the time, the solar wasn't the right way to go.
I think in the future, for him to actually go to solar, it would save a lot of energy, close to 60 to 80%. I mean, that's better for the township, I mean, to save money.
How much is it up front, though, for it? Like
Well, my upfront, where I'm at is, I'm like 30 days away from my solar to be completed. And they say it's going to take 6 months. It's already 5 months already. And it's a 60 to 80% off.
You didn't say how much?
Last thing I heard is for mine.
No, is this your township, or is this?
No,
annual?
for my house, I mean.
Oh, just for your house?
For the house, I mean. As an acre, it's cheaper. I mean, go solar, I mean, cleaner, I mean. And, a very better rate.
Right.
And it's a township, for him to get a lot of space. It could, afford a lot of sun energy.
Right.
And I mean, if you could, look into it, I mean, to say,
And financially, a couple years ago, we had a presentation come in. At the time when they came in, the solar panel technology was, I don't know if you remember this, the solar panel technology was changing. So it was actually weight, because it would be different technology down the road. Something about the panels were actually getting smaller. But yeah, you know what, they probably will look at in the future though. Thank you.
and, for the November night AMA meeting, two residents, me and some other, I was hoping some of the township, committee or residents to come to the Mount Harry AMA, but with only two persons out there everywhere I come. I record the whole thing. If you want a copy of it, I can't upload it yet, but I got a copy of it. It was after about 10 minutes.
Did you put that on your site?
Nah, it's still on my iPhone.
Okay.
And I hope everybody will come to the next MBA meeting. It's going to be the complete, I mean, it's good, And I guess in the future, I mean, I would be acting a pay-to-play ordinance. Is that going to be right here, or it's I'll be acting after that few meetings? Either pay-to-play ordinance, or you
Are
want
we gonna look at it?
Yeah, you're going to look
I'm
at
sure
it.
they're gonna go around with this solicitor, our attorney.
And, I mean, I'm trying to do that from our township, to get, group pay-to-pay, have a fair deal.
I think there has to be an understanding of what pay-to-play really is. That's the first question.
You should have like a workstation or something, I mean, for everyone to come and then ask questions. And, let me see, one other question. I think that'll be all, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Councilman Allen, 407 Bishop Avenue. I was here, like over the summer, and when we came in and tried to tell the committee and the administrator about it, we were told that it wasn't going to happen. Then we kept telling the EPR it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Then we were told they were going to bring lumber for 74 lumber, whatever it is. 84, and not there anymore, I don't think, and loads and things like that. They were not going to be bringing any kind of trash or anything like that in.
Can I ask a question on that? Did you
here we are. People. A lady on our road has been trying to sell her house. Nobody will buy it because of what's happening. It's just, you know, and I know these people pay the same taxes as the rest of us. And it really seems a shame because this stuff is really toxic sometimes. There's all asbestos, PCBs, and all kinds of stuff coming in. You can tell by the side of the cars what's marked on them. So if we could get more money, we should get more money and let them people have a tax break that live there, because they're putting up, not only with all that, they put up with the cats. You know they have a lot of trouble with cats there, and I've talked to the neighbors, and they have cats in their yards all the time.
Well, you had trouble with cats in your yard too, right?
I have cats in my yard too because of the, first of all, the townhouses they put in behind me.
What have you feel?
On commercial ground. And then they put, a lady up the street was feeding cats and not doing anything with them. And I kept telling her about it. And so I couldn't put anywhere to sleep because that's what was happening. They were feral. I would take them to the shelter and they would just be put to sleep. And I couldn't do it anymore. So I have 6 cats that I had spayed and neutered. And I take care of them. They're very expensive too. But I take care of them. I keep them in my yard as much as I can. But it's just like that over there. People just dump their cats over at that industrial center. They do that any place where there's, if they see a cat, they're dump a bunch more. The whole point is, it's a mess in there. It's terrible in there. And all the neighbors have to put up with it.
Isn't it a mess? I mean, doesn't the DEP go in there and check it out?
Oh, I don't think they're allowed, are they? I
The
know we're
DEP
not allowed, right?
No, the DEP goes in there. I
We're
think,
not
once a
allowed to
month,
go in there.
right? Check that out.
I don't know the frequency of it. I know that they have jurisdiction and the ability to go there and inspect and respond to complaints. I have also called the health department, received some complaints from residents, and I've called over there, and they have gone and they have done their due diligence.
And I understand that if you complain like about noise, which I pulled in a neighbor's yard over there one day, and I could not believe. And what they used to have a person, I understand that person is not there anymore, carry them dumpsters with a front end loader and drop it and then slide it into place. Now you can imagine what that would sound like around it. And when he would call the DEP or whoever, they would come out and he said there would be dead silence. Nothing moving. 10 minutes after they left, the noise started again. So you figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may just address the issue of inspections on the railroad property.
As a lawyer, or is it?
No, just because the question came up during Kitty's comments.
What question about people using our pools?
No. You had asked whether or not.
But you guys are over there coming up? I mean, usually we have the, oh, it's a late crowd today. You have to say your name again now.
Sure. Deborah Playa, 50 Bancroft. I have a copy of the settlement agreement, and the settlement agreement says that Hainesport Township or its designee with properly delegated authority shall be entitled and permitted to make periodic and reasonable inspections of HIRR's operations upon prior written notice in advance by at least 24 hours. It goes on, I'm not going to read the whole thing. And then with any construction-related activity, 7 days prior written notice.
Thank you. And I know that, I don't know if you had an opportunity to go over there.
I have not yet, no.
Okay. I mean, I know, before, I know we should get over there every once in a while, just to keep an eye on it too. But if you ever want to go there for a tour.
Absolutely.
Anyone else? That's it. Comments from the administrator.
Not too many this evening. I just wanted to let the governing body know that requests for proposals have been posted on the township webpage, as well as in the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post for professionals for 2018. I also just want to address that, while we do not have a formal pay-to-play ordinance, we do follow the fair and open process when it comes to public contracts and bidding. And that is it.
Comments from the solicitor.
I really don't have anything to add tonight. I know we have some things for closed session. The only, I have vague, and I'll look at the stuff. If anybody wants to look at the Hainesport Industrial Railroad stuff, I'll do that. I have a very vague recollection of it just from being an outside observer. And I thought that a lot of it turned on federal legislation that governed the railroad activity, which may be why it was removed from state court to federal court because of the federal aspect of it. So I think there may have been more to it in terms of who really had jurisdiction and whether DEP had the final say and whether the 50 cents was applicable, because I thought there was some argument that it wasn't so much a Class A or a Class B recycling facility or a transfer facility. And I recall the county was somewhat involved because there was a question about whether or not the county's solid waste management plan would have to be amended. And that's about all I recall. I just think there was some federal component to it that gave HIRR a bit of a leg up over Hainesport and the county. But I'm happy to take a look at it.
And if you can, at that time too, I remember we were, I don't even know if I was on committee at the time. I know that Paul Leon actually went down to DC to actually go over and find out exactly the law, and it was controlled federally.
Yeah, and I think I seem to recall some outreach to Jimmy Saxon at the time. But again, I don't remember last year, never mind 2006. So, but I will take a look at whatever we have.
Okay. Okay, comments from the committee. We'll start with Ms. Gilmore.
Not too much. The senior citizens meeting for November had been changed to an earlier date, so that's happened. And their December meeting they canceled. I was able to meet with the environmental committee, and they are now looking for places to place the native plants to promote the bee population. And they're also looking into some farmland preservation and recommending some areas we put aside for pocket parks. I didn't have a chance to go to the MUA budget meeting, but I did have a chance to tour the MUA facility in Lumberton, which I found quite interesting. And that's about it. I'm happy that the ordinance has now been presented for the feral cats, and hopefully that will help with the problem. I know that the township is actually, backing this, and I think the people in the industrial park are now supporting the people that are taking care of the colony. So that's a big help, that it's now out in the open and people can do what's necessary to maintain and reduce the population.
Thank you. Mr. Fitzpatrick?
The only thing I wanted to comment on this evening was I've actually had a couple of individuals approach me in reference to ongoing problems that we are having on Washington Street and Broad Street here in town in reference to speeding. And I think it's something as a committee we're going to have to discuss and figure out as a township what we can do to try to help these individuals out. It seems like it's getting out of control, and I know we have speeding issues throughout the town, but it seems like with the school there, the bus traffic, the kids walking, it's a little more under a microscope. So I think as we move forward, we have to come up with some solutions on how we can possibly curtail some of the traffic. So maybe it's something we can put on for a future discussion as we move forward and see if there's a way that we could possibly address. I'm not sure, we can't really do the speed humps there because obviously we have the fire traffic and you can't send the fire engines over top of the EMTs, so forth and so on. But stop signs, I'm not sure exactly how that would work. But it's an issue that I think that we should at least look at and try to address. So as we move forward, maybe we can put on a future meeting to have a discussion when we're all present and see if there's any ideas we can float out there.
And it's a shame too, Mike. I mean, I know we've been looking at this for like a year, Bancroft over there, Washington. Like, do we do some stop signs? We've asked the police to go out there. There has been a better police presence out there. I mean, I'm watching people pass people on Easton right now. Bancroft is a joke. They actually, the way they fly around there, if you use an extra stop sign down there as well. And it's a shame in Washington where the issues are, it's residents. You know, I saw something the other day, I talked to the girl who posted it, just the 5 cars flying down the street. You know, no one stops at the stop sign. I mean, I almost got hit again at the 4-way thing this morning because someone went to fly through it. It's a shame. It's at a point where if you see a car, I mean, it's our neighbors. You know what? If you don't want to say anything to your neighbor, you know, call Paul and we'll have our enforcement agent go out there and say something. I mean, you know, it's a shame that someone's going to get hurt. I mean, there has been a few people in Deacon who have been hurt. But, you know, you hate to say it, but report them. Let us take care of it if you don't want to be the bad person.
You know, I sometimes wonder too with, you know, with the, you know, the state police being here at this point, I don't know if they have any, I know that we have the machines that tell you how fast you're going, they blink and, you know, so, do they make anything like that that actually can record your license plates or anything along those lines? I don't know if it's anything you ever look into.
Like when you don't pay your toll.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, you know, because there are so many times where, you know, quite a few people in proper here in Hainesport have had the situation, they've come to me on it, and I kind of feel bad because it's something that we just don't seem to be able to, you know, wrap our arms around. But I'd like somehow to be able to, before a child gets hurt, particularly, because with the school being there and all, it is a tough situation. So let's consider it for the future. And that's all.
That's all, thank you. You know, I've also speaking to a lot of people during the last few months too. Citizens Media was doing a pretty good job too, except no one can hear us on there. Maybe that is a thing down the road. You know, I mean, we looked at it before too. I know someone had mentioned something that Comcast had given us a grant for years ago. The Comcast had given us a grant for the technology to videotape. I don't think Comcast gave us the grant for that. I think we used to always give that money back to the school for technology, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
So my recollection.
You know, I saw some numbers go around, but, you know, I think the fact of the matter is, we got money from Comcast, we gave it to the school to help technology. So maybe that's another thing we can look at as well, too. Also, too, just it was a shame the way the campaign ended up. You know, being involved in numerous functions, it's a shame to see a town get so divided the last 2 years. You know, we all have kids. Now our kids are the kids in college. You know, they're coming out of college. My daughter called me the other day, completely embarrassed, because she's letting her friends read the stuff on Facebook. It's a joke. You know, it's an absolute joke anymore what's happening on Facebook. These comments are just pathetic. You know, I really feel bad for the people, you know, who have to, you know, resort to this. I just hope, you know, as we always say, looking into the future, hopefully it'll get a little bit better. But I think we have a fantastic town. Me and Mr. Fitzpatrick have been friends for 15 years. Last year, when all the social media stuff blew up, me and him at midnight would be fighting on the phone. We would absolutely be fighting on the phone about what to do. You know, and I was a firm believer in staying off of some of the battles. You know, and he defended us. He defended me a lot on Facebook as well, too. I look at something like that from a social media aspect of friendship. You know, what we've had, what we've done. And we've had, this is a great town. You know, I mean, you look around, our sports programs, our fields, you know, what we're doing for the seniors. I mean, you know, really, really doing a great job.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, one thing that we've actually learned from Facebook this year is that Facebook doesn't win elections. Matter of fact, it hurts elections. I think that the information put out there by certain groups on both sides kind of really hindered individuals in coming out to vote. I think it just got to be so ridiculous that it was a joke. It really was. And glad to see that that's over. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, everybody talks about, you know, Hainesport and, you know, hashtag more of the same and all that kind of stuff. But really, I mean, come on. No one really comes up and I've never had anybody really come up to me and tell me what's wrong with Hainesport. You know, why? I mean, no town is perfect. I mean, absolutely not. But, you know, there's nothing going on here that people have to complain to that degree about.
And other towns are going through the same stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe Mr. Lopez understands a lot as he sees it goes through. But Maybe down the road too. I mean, I was a firm believer too, in town hall, I don't know if you would categorize it as a town hall, but maybe get people together to talk. But the last 2 years just blew up where we didn't have that opportunity. Hopefully down the road, maybe you can. I mean, you get together with a lot of these different groups, there's a lot of good ideas. And Madison, our kids are gonna be the future leaders. We want to keep everybody here, keep this town going strong. We're one of the, I firmly believe we're one of the greatest towns in Burlington County, South Jersey. And we hope just to keep this moving positive, moving forward. But that's my soapbox speech for today. Pay the bills.
I have a question on the bills before we start. Mr. Gillespie, how do we handle this, being that there's a certain bill I can't vote on, and being that we only have?
Yeah, if you are simply abstaining because you haven't had a chance to review it, it's okay. If you are disqualifying yourself or recusing yourself from that vote, that's not to be tabled to the next meeting.
For that one?
For that one.
Okay. So let's take it back a step, because, educate me here,
Mhm.
please. So what you're saying then is that when I abstain from these votes, for the past year, 2 years, however long I've been abstaining, I've actually should not have been using the word abstain? I should be reclusing myself? Because I'm not abstaining for the reason that I do business with this company in my personal life. So I can't vote on paying their bill. But I want to make sure that if I'm doing something wrong and I'm not using the right verbiage by saying I abstain,
Yeah.
that I use the proper verbiage going forward.
I think the way it's gone down, and I have to look at the minutes, but I think it's gone down because all the other votes were in the affirmative, and you didn't have to worry about quorum. So I
Okay.
think it goes down as 4-0-1 anyway, right? Here, if it's, and even if it was a recusal, it would be down as 4-0-1, right? It didn't go down as 5-0. If it was an abstention, and there was no reason given, and you've always given a reason, either privately or otherwise, saying, I can't vote on these things, so I'm gonna abstain. The fact that you say I can't vote on these is clear that it's not just an abstention because I didn't look at the bill, I don't know what it's about. It's, I'm not voting on this because I can't.
Right.
So that goes down as a 4-0-1. This evening, because you would need your presence to count towards a quorum, and a disqualification eliminates that presence. So really, it's just 2 qualified members of a 5-member governing body eligible to vote. If it's a recusal, that's not a quorum.
Okay.
So
So we can vote on everything
you
except
can,
that one bill?
you can vote on everything other than those where you say, I can't vote on this.
Okay. And then moving forward, when we do have a 5-member, because this is very odd.
Yeah, it
Obviously, this is something that we really don't have. But when we do have a 5, am I correct in using the word abstain, or should I use another word?
I would say I'm recusing myself on this one. I mean, but I know that it's always gone down as 4-0-1 because I think Paula knows, Sharon knows that you were saying I can't vote on this.
Right. Okay, so
the net outcome has been fine. It's the same.
Right.
It comes up this evening because, as you say,
And I just want to make sure that I use the right verbiage
Yeah.
as I move forward. Okay, so refuse. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. With that being said.
Do you want to hear what Bill he has to right away? Want to do that?
yeah. So the whatever bill it is you can't vote on should be tabled to the next meeting, and then you can adopt the motion to vote on the remaining bills.
Okay. So would you like the numbers? Okay. So it's 17 -00901 and 17-00954.
Okay.
With that, we need a motion to,
Table those to the next meeting.
we're going to table those to the next meeting.
Now, you want a motion to table? Yeah, so we're going to motion to table those 2 bills.
Okay, you're going to
I'm making a motion to table those 2 bills.
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Okay, now motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Okay, with that, we have we are going to executive session today.
5-minute break?
We'll have a 5-minute break. I need a motion to go to executive session. This is concerning personnel, real estate, and potential litigation.
Pending litigation.
Pending. Will there be a possible,
There may be action, but I think it'll be more staff direction or attorney direction than it will be formal. There won't be any resolutions, I don't think.
Do you have a resolution coming out, Steve, on the environmental on this? There may be a resolution.
Okay, so there may be formal action taken.
Okay, there may be more action taken. We're going to take a 5-minute recess, and then we're going to go to executive session.
We have a motion?
I need a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes. Well, get the mics off.
You got,
Hey, Josh? I'm sorry?
yeah, 100 people, 105 people watching.